A beautiful afternoon to you. Many thanks for joining us on the program Flipside with yours sincerely, Oloije Oihohai. It's a brand new year, a brand new week. Yes, midweek already. And I know lots of persons are already strategizing. Yes, how is 2022 going to be like? What am I going to achieve? What am I going to do? I'm yours sincerely, Oloije Oihohai. And we're saying Happy New Year to each and every one of you out there. And I know this year is certainly going to be a prosperous one. Today on Flipside, we will be looking at managing your finances. Now, last week, yes, which was the last Wednesday in the year 2021, a wrap of the year 2021, we did talk about procrastination, we did talk about New Year resolution and your wishes for the year 2022. Now, I hope you have made your New Year resolutions. I hope you have also made sure you wrote something apart, which is, I will not procrastinate in the year 2022. And before I continue, now we have in the guest, the person of my own friend, my person, yes, the person of Destiny Iwobo. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me.
And Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year too.
Okay. Yes. Now, last week we talked about, myself and my guest, we talked about New Year resolutions. Okay. We talked about people trying not as much as not to procrastinate in the year 2022. Okay. Now, before we dive into our main topic for today, which is managing your finances as far as the year 2022 is concerned. Now, I want to ask you now, for you, Destiny, did you make any New Year resolutions?
Yes, I did.
Mm.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so what are those things that you will be putting in place to make sure, okay, you stay true to your New Year resolutions?
Yeah, all New Year resolutions.
Yeah.
The important thing is discipline.
Discipline.
And discipline. It's easy to set up a New Year resolution, but evidence shows that most people just perform the chore.
Okay.
But following it through is a difficult thing. So you require discipline, you require focus, you require the ability to see your end, see the end of it from the beginning.
Okay.
And like I told you, there are so many vagaries in society, things that are promising to take you away from your plans. So, but you have to find a way to stay true to that plan until there's a valid reason to change the plan. So, the biggest quality you need to make your resolution work is discipline. A lot of discipline. Yeah.
Okay. So, do you feel, aside from you, do you feel lots of persons out there believe in New Year resolutions?
Yeah, I think because first of all, it's popularly said, but not everybody believes you have to plan.
Yeah.
Some people do not believe in planning. They like to meet life the way it is.
Okay.
They live with the mentality that you meet life as it goes. You know? Some people will quote Jesus Christ who said, "Do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will
take care of itself."
So
yeah.
people interpret that to mean there's no use planning. God eventually determines everything.
Okay.
Okay. Some other people do not see it that way. They think that we have to plan and we have to build, set up a template by which we live. They also quote Jesus Christ, who said, "Who of you wants to build a house without first sitting down to calculate the cost?"
Yeah.
Incidentally, two different groups of people quote the same authority to emphasize their point. So if Jesus Christ said, before you build a house, you must sit down to net the cost, and then it means it requires you to plan and budget. Okay, so if you are in the other school of thought, then it means you have to sit down and plan and put pen to paper to tell yourself where you want to be and at what point in time, what you intend to have achieved, and tick it off. And generally, statistics shows that people who put the pen to paper, who put such plans on ground, tend to fare better
than those who just say it.
Who live on stochastics and things like that.
Okay, so. Okay. Now quickly, do we feel that, like you said, planning?
Yes.
Can planning be also fit into New Year resolution? Can it be read as same thing?
Basically, it means the same thing.
Okay, it means the same thing.
Yeah,
you plan.
It's about planning.
Your resolution.
Yes.
Go ahead with it.
Yes, your resolution is simply a plan.
Okay.
Yes.
It's a plan.
Yes.
Why some persons they feel New Year resolutions can also be changing our habits. So whatever way it goes.
It's a plan. Change your habits. It comes from the word resolve. To resolve means to make a decision. of what you want to do. So making concrete decisions about where you want to be, what you want to do is a resolution. Whether good, bad, maybe you want to stop something or you want to start doing something.
It all falls into planning.
It's about planning.
All right, if you just joined us, this is Flipside, and today we will be talking about managing our finances. Now, we know in the year 2021, lots of persons, they did put down, I will be able to achieve this, I will get myself more knowledge, I will get myself a house, I will get myself a car, a new car, with a particular budget. Now, the year 2021 came and we found some persons not being able to achieve these things, while some others, they find Mama Nkechi in the month of December, rolling in bags and bags of rice. And they are wondering, hey, Mama Nkechi, where did you get this money from? And you'll be like, Papa Nkechi has given her money, but I tell you, it's not true. Yes, it's not true, not at all. You get to go get close to Mama Nkechi, and you will get to know the fact that she has been saving from the year January, from the month of January down to the month of December. Now you find things lighter and easier for her. So right now, the beginning of the year has begun already. Today is the 5th day in the month of January 2021, and we have started counting. All right, now we're looking at managing our finances. So I want to ask you now, right now, Destiny Uwobo, how do you feel as Nigerians, as humans? How can we actually manage our finances? We get to have someone receiving salary of, let's say, 40,000 naira in a month. Some persons 15, some persons 20. It varies. So how can we manage our finances as individuals in 2022? So at the long run, when it comes to, let's say, December, or when it comes to us having need for these things, we get to make use of them. So how can we go about it?
Okay, the first thing is set up a goal. What do you want to achieve? All plans start with a goal. They are meaningless without a goal. So you set up a goal. This is what I want. Okay, write it down somewhere. Okay. So once you have that written, then you write another thing. What will be required? You write it down. That's the second thing. What will be required to set up that goal? In an imaginary world, what will be required? Then the third thing is, out of those things that are required, how many of them are directly under your control? Actually, what is required to get a goal may not totally be in your control. Some other may be affected by the economy, your job, your family, and other factors. So you write the ones that are in your control, and write those that are totally not directly in your control. So you have different templates there. So I repeat for emphasis. The first thing is to set a goal. Second thing is to list things that are required to achieve that goal. The third thing is to choose, out of those things that are required, the ones that are immediately in your control, and that those that are not in your control, keep them apart. Then the ones that are in your control, start deploying them. Because there's a theory that says that when you begin to handle the things that are in your control, those that are not in your control sometimes becomes easier for you because they are not in your control. Okay, so start with the ones you have control over. Let's say, let me give a practical example. You plan to go abroad. This year. Now you're smiling. You want to go to the US. That's a goal. The goal is to get to the US. True. Now to get to the US, you need funds. You need funds. So funds, visa, application, passport, write all the things you need to get to the US. You have not started spending anything. No. Just write it down. Ask questions. Itemize them. Itemize all of it. Now, the funds you may not have all the funds now, but you may be able to afford the passport now. Okay, so go get it. And so go and get it. You know, the ones that you have immediate control over, from the smallest ones, start getting those ones, and then be working towards solving your circle of influence. The more you expand your circle of influence, the more you are solving the ones that you have control over, the more your circle of influence will be increasing. Confidence will increase to achieve the others. Okay? Because we do not know where the money will come from. But if you begin to get the passport ready, and you begin to get things ready, ask questions, and be trying to solve those ones that are within your control, then it is easy for you to get to a certain point and say, please, my friend,
I need support.
I need a support here. I have the passport. I've applied already. I've done interview. twice, and this is what they are saying. I think I need your help in this area.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to say, what have you done, right? True. Now, if you have not done anything, it's very easy for people to dismiss you.
Yeah, like you're not serious.
Like you're not serious. So, like I said, the world is not totally in your control. But if you're able to deal with the things you have control over, it is easy for other things that you don't have control over to fall in place. You know, and we are saying this from a practical business perspective. So that is how we get our goals achieved, because the goals are not totally in your hands to achieve. So some are in God's hands, some are in nature's hands, some are in the economy's hands, some are in your relatives' hands, some are in your hands. So have the goal nonetheless. Set up a system to deal with the aspects that directly concern you, and then begin to share it small. And let's hope. The beautiful thing about plans is this: you may not eventually achieve the plan. You may even achieve it 10 times more, or you may not achieve enough. But having a plan gives you some direction. You can measure the progress toward the plan. So let's assume that you wanted to go to the US this year, and then you worked hard, you got to the point where you applied for a visa and you were denied. Because I told you, not all is under your control.
True.
Now you have done everything, you've paid all the money, and then you got to the point of approval, and then you were denied the visa. So it's still part of your plan that you want to go to the US, but now the US government, bam, out.
Couldn't,
So, but of course you can tell somebody, I worked hard, I got to the visa, I was rejected there, and then you can reapply. You can measure all the efforts you have put to achieving that. They said that when you want to reapply again this time around, you may not need to go and get a passport again. Those things you have done before, you may not need to do them again. You don't know exactly what to do. So you are getting closer to the plan. You may also want to travel to the US, and then you wanted it by November, only for your visa to come out in March, and then by April you're already in US. And then you say, wow, I thought it was going to be November, but this is March already. It happens like that sometimes. Whether you succeed or not, having a plan, a blueprint of success is always
it's paramount.
It's paramount. You're able to measure how to move from point A to point B. The beauty of a plan is this: if you have used a plan to achieve anything in life before, it is easy for you to teach the same system to somebody else. You know, but if you achieve anything by luck, you can't. When somebody asks you, how did you achieve it?
What were your experiences?
You will say, nah, God. And then, which is meaningless to the person, because the person, you are assuming that the person does not have God. You know, but when you say, you want to go to the US, are you serious? These
were the steps I took.
This is what I did. You know, having a plan puts you in charge, and then you can express the concept to other people who can follow your pattern and get to the same goal. So having a plan is sacrosanct. And don't fear, when you are having a goal, don't fear that you may not be able to achieve it. That's not the objective. Like I tell my students, I'll give you a simple analogy. When I'm in class, I'll tell my students, I'll say, touch the ceiling. I just want to tell them what planning is all about. Touch the ceiling. And I know that they can't do that. And all of them will sit down like this. I'll say, I want someone to touch the ceiling. I'll keep doing that. For 15 minutes, nobody gets up until one person gets up. And I says, okay, you touch the ceiling. And the person will look at it like this and say, I can't. Another person will get up again and say, I can't. Until I keep doing it, I can do it for 1 hour until one person gets up and carries a table. And then puts another table on top of that table.
And that's a plan.
And I'm watching. And then the person gets up, climbs it, and touches it. And then I start my class. I tell them, you see, when I told you the very first time, I said, touch the ceiling. I didn't tell you how to touch the ceiling. Just touch the ceiling. That's the goal. It looks like unachievable from where you are. So those people who did not bother to touch the ceiling or even move, we are just looking at it like this.
How am I going to get there?
And then they just give up. And then some other people said they could, but they didn't know how to. Some other people said we could. What if I use a table or something? So having a goal allows your brain to think on ways to achieve the goal. And then it may not be possible at that point you're having the goal. It may not look feasible. But when you set the goal, something happens, something sparks in your head and tells you, how does it happen? How do we do that? It makes you active. And there's a beautiful thing when you achieve your goals, you become super, you become bigger than you. So you say, wow, I never thought I could do that.
You can actually go out there and tell people, hey, this is what I did
and
to be able to achieve this particular goal.
You can too.
Yeah, you can too. If I can.
If I can, you can.
Why can't you?
You know.
Okay, now I did mention salary or take-home basis. Now, you find some persons, either you're working for someone or you're your own boss. Your take home for that month can just be like 15,000 naira or 20,000 naira. Can someone manage spending with this amount of money?
Yes, you can. Being
gotten in a month and being able to also save as regards our economic challenges.
One can manage any amount.
Okay, any amount.
10,000. The concept of management already assumes that you don't have enough. The word manage comes from the word that you don't have enough. Okay, you economize because you don't have enough.
Yeah.
If you had a lot, then you need to manage. So, what is management? So if you earn 5,000 naira, that's what you earn, right? And then you manage it. To manage 5,000 means you apportion it in a certain way that you are at equilibrium. For example, you know that if you ever want 5,000 to grow, you need to make some savings and investment. Don't worry. Money does not respect volume. It respects direction. What makes a person rich or poor is not the amount of money they earn. It's the difference between their earning and their spending, and the direction of their spending. So, for example, if you earn 5,000 naira, you say, okay, this is 5,000 naira. We have a basic rule we used to save. We call it the 50, 30, 20 rule. So what it means is this. You may not follow it by the book, but you can just operate something that is workable for you. You can say, okay, out of this 5,000 naira, I'll be saving 1.5. Okay. Okay. That's 5,000 naira.
You said 50,
30, 20.
30, 20 rule.
Yeah.
Okay, so I needed to jot that down.
Yes.
50, 30, 20 rule.
So divide your salary 50, 30, 20.
Okay.
And put 20 in a savings account.
Okay.
Save it, lock it up.
But when you're talking about savings accounts, lock it up. Are you sure some persons, they can actually, get themselves not to go break that safe?
That's what I told you from the beginning of the program. I said discipline.
Discipline.
I said no matter how beautiful a plan is, you require one thing, discipline. If you don't train yourself, that one, nobody will do that for you.
Yeah.
You have to train yourself not to break your principles.
Okay.
Your body rewards you for that. So if you keep 20% and you said you were going to keep 20%, you need discipline to stick to it. It therefore means when people are asking you for help, you know that you only have 80 naira to spend, not 100.
Wait, so are you not trying to tell us that if you have an emergency, you can't go touch that safe?
There's what you call an emergency fund in the system too.
Okay. Okay, so that's apart from the savings.
Apart from, when you call something savings, it's savings.
It's savings.
It's
okay.
not for emergency.
It's not for emergency.
You get the point now. So it's for yourself. The idea is to pay yourself first. Okay. So you save it. That savings is kept for the rainy day. Okay. Emergency is if something that comes quickly and just happens and you have to deal with it. There's a fund for that emergency. So an average person should have at least 3 accounts of savings. One for everyday expenses. Like the normal rule we use is this: your salary at the end of the month, your expenses in a month should be at least 30% of your salary.
Okay.
So if you earn 5,000 naira, you should know that you should not be spending 17,000 naira.
Okay.
So if I earn 5,000 naira and you come to me and you say I should give you money to pay school fees, I'll ask you how much is your school fees. Then you say 50,000 naira. There's a word in English called I cannot afford it. Yeah. You can't. That's why I say it's discipline. Don't try to impress people. The reason why people cannot operationalize plans because they live by a concept which we call the demonstration effect. Okay. In simple terms, we call it keeping up with the Joneses. There's a program.
Keeping up with the Johnsons.
With the Johnsons. What it means is that some people live according to the feelings and attitudes of their neighbors.
Yeah, I just want to impress.
How people should perceive you. In this world, you are on your own.
On your own, or your is the case.
So if you live by another man's standard, you have missed it.
Wanting to impress your neighbor, I can actually afford a particular thing.
You get the point.
Whereas you can't afford it.
Your neighbor buys a phone worth 50,000 naira.
And you want to impress and surpass that one.
You want to do that. You forget that your neighbor is earning 300,000, and then you are earning 25,000 naira.
What a word!
So we call that the demonstration effect, show-off effect, the desire to hobnob, to belong to a social class that you don't belong to. In fact, there's a rule: set the standard for yourself and live according to your means. The person who lives according to his means has a chance to improve his condition than the person who tries to demonstrate.
There used to be a word, sew your coats according to your size. Now, they say it's no longer according to your size. It's now sew your coat according to the material.
Yeah, the cloth.
So, the cloth. So, if you have normal, like, something not really expensive, as long as it comes out nice, why not? Why don't you go ahead with it? And some wondering what Mama Obi is wearing and wanting to impress and all of that.
I saw a couple of guys. I'm a businessman. I saw a couple of my students. They went to buy an iPhone.
Okay.
1.3 million.
Wow.
So I asked the student, why did you buy it? He said,
okay.
Well, anything with this one. This is classy. I like
Imagine.
it. So I asked the question to the student. I said, how much do you have in your bank account? He said, I guess nothing. I said, how many houses do you have? He said, I don't have any. How many cars do you have? I don't have any. How many assets? How many investments do you have?
Have you made?
Anything. Then I carried my phone and I showed it to the student. I use a simple phone. And I told the student I can buy an iPhone if I want to, but I cannot afford it. And then the student said, if you can buy it and you can
why you say you cannot afford it?
They are two different things. If I have to buy an iPhone, I have to liquidate my assets to buy an iPhone. To be able to afford something means to be able to buy it. Assuming you
and
buy
still
it today,
have more than.
Assuming you buy it today, I also ask a question, and then they steal it from you. Can you replace it in the next 10 minutes?
Or assuming you buy it today and it gets 40.
Can you fix
it?
it?
And they tell you it's close to the amount you bought it. Can you fix it?
Can you fix it? If you cannot, if you have not got to that stage, don't be jumping into things like that. You know. And I told the person, I said, before you be able to say you afford this, before you do something comfortably, like my phone, when my phone misses. In the last 10 years, I don't wait till the next day. I replace it in the next 30 minutes. Because it is what I can afford that I buy.
True.
But if I have to buy something and then when it misses, I cannot replace it, I have to be begging to
start rallying around.
Then I couldn't have afforded it in the first place. Okay, so live according to your budget,
your means,
you know. There's honor in doing that. There's nobody's competing with you. So one of the reasons why most people don't achieve their goals is because their mind is polarized. They set a goal, but their behavior interferes with their goal. They have behavioral problems. For example, like I told you, you know you have a plan, you want to achieve this, you want to build a house this year, and then your friend goes to buy one big car. And then you ask him how much is the car. He says 4.5 million. He says, I just like this car. And then we call it the shining light syndrome. The shining light syndrome means some people are attracted by lighting. So because that one is shining light, this is where you are going to. So you say, I need to get this car. So you divert 4 million to buy the car, only for you to discover that you have only 1 million left in your account. And then you now say, I couldn't build my house. And
at the long run, you can't even fuel the car. You can't, when it goes bad, you can't even repair it properly.
Yes, because it was not part of your plan. You didn't plan for it. So the idea, there are two things a person must guard against. One, when you set a goal, avoid the shining light syndrome. Don't be easily carried away by other people's plans. Then two, discipline. It requires you to sit down, introspectively look at yourself and say, can I sincerely afford this? You know, money is like alcohol. It gives a blood rush. When money comes to people, the first thing that comes to their mind is spend. Spend. Because we have been wired to believe that money is for spending. Money is not for spending. Money is a form of power. And there are so many things you can do with power. You can save it, you can work with it, you can do whatever it is. It is not for spending. Spending is just one aspect of money.
True.
So if you train yourself not to be running after money, I mean like letting money control you, then if somebody pays 50,000 naira to your account, the first thing that should enter your mind is, okay, that's 50,000 naira, 50, 30, 20 euro. 10,000 must go out for savings. And then before you begin to think, before the spending comes, you have transferred it to that account. There's an account you used to save.
I tell you.
You transfer it, you now have 40,000. Then you can say, yes. Be patient. And then when your friends come and say, that nice shoe, say, that nice shoe. I like this shoe, sir. Maybe next 6 months. You must train yourself not to be running after.
You have to be disciplined.
Yes, because shining light syndrome will tell you that's the shoe, that's the chair. This one, your rent, things will be wrong. Even your rent, if it's not part of your plan, tell your landlord to wait. People don't even understand
as at that time.
Yes, they said negotiate. That's why we do what's called negotiation. Mr. Landlord, listen, let me tell you something. I don't have the money to pay you now.
Yes, but I will pay you.
I will pay you. Give me 1 month. 1 month. Negotiate. Learn the art of negotiation. So that your plan will not be overrun by the plan of others. Negotiate. Pay yourself first. That's the rule. Pay yourself first and live according to your means and be disciplined about it. You know why? If you cannot handle your finances, your landlord is coming for you. Your family is coming for you, and your problems are all on your head. So that is why you should be very disciplined about yourself. Take yourself seriously.
Okay. Now there are two questions I want to ask you before we go on a break. The first is, you said the 20% out of let's say 50,000 naira.
50, 30, 20.
Okay. Now the 20 should be spent
Should be saved.
Yes, I know, like should be spent on saving.
Yes.
Now that saving, is it for a particular project?
For the project we are talking about.
For the project.
That will improve the quality of your life.
Okay.
So
that is what it is meant for.
That's meant for. So you are planning the next stage, and you know that I need to get this thing to move. Because if you are not doing like that, you'll be in one stage forever. Yeah. So my plan is, maybe you want to go and do a course that will upgrade your skills. Yeah. Okay, and the course will be 200,000. Okay, if I save 30,000 every month for 7 months, I'll be able to afford it.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So what you do is you set the goal. You set the goal, and then you begin to put it out. Require discipline and to put it out.
All right. Okay, now the next one is you find some uncles, especially uncles, brothers, they will tell you, I have made my budget for the month. Just for instance, so you call and say, brother or uncle, I need a particular sum of money. And they tell you, I have made my budget for the month. I can't go outside my budget. Now we start calling those persons stingy cocoa. Now those persons, are they really stingy cocoa, or they are being, focused?
They are financially responsible.
Oh, they are financially responsible. So, so please, if you're listening to us right now, or you're watching us right now, and you're in that category whereby you call your uncle or you call your auntie, and they tell you, hey, bro, hey, my babe, sorry, I can't afford what you're saying right now. I can't send you the money. They are not stingy cocoa according to Destiny.
No, they are not.
They are financially what again?
Responsible.
They are financially responsible. Please explain to us.
What they are telling you is that you don't just bump into them.
Yeah.
Okay. My own father I cannot say my father does not love me. If I want to collect school fees from my father,
you have to tell him a month ahead.
Tell me a
in
month
fact,
ahead.
even some months ahead.
Yes.
It happened to me too.
Can your father also be stingy?
I tell you.
And so you say that they say we should bring school fees.
Yes.
It's true. They will sit down, you write it down.
Yeah.
And that day he'll give it to you. Because he has so many things he's thinking about.
True.
So when you are dealing with an adult who has responsibilities, don't ask for money and expect him to give it to you
immediately.
If he gives it to you out of his generosity, out of his magnanimity, thank him.
Okay.
If he tells you he has a budget, he has not planned for it. In fact, as a reasonable person, you should tell him, oh, that's true, I'm sorry about that. Maybe next time.
Yeah.
Some people are more likely to give to you if you understand what they are talking about. So it's not stingy cocoa. What's stingy cocoa? It is financially. You should be like that too.
Okay.
People can't just bump into you and say, give me this, and you think about it. There are times when you do that. But you don't do that with your plan. You do that with extra plan. Okay. For example, I have met my goals. I have put my savings and I have surplus. And then you come and say, please, I need 2,000 naira. There's no problem. It won't hurt your plan. But when you know you have 20,000 to save and you only have 18,000, you have 80,000 naira cash somewhere. Then you have another 7,000 naira cash. Somebody says, give me 10,000 naira. Don't do that. You are going to hurt yourself. We forget something. Jesus Christ said, love your neighbor as yourself. The expression is not more than yourself. Love yourself first. That's what it means. So that you cannot see to love other people. Okay. So the best way to help other people is to help yourself. Okay. So don't subjugate yourself. Don't give yourself problems because you want to seem nice to people. You know one thing about human beings, if you are a nice person, it will show over time. It's not something you can demonstrate in 5 days. So you may stop a person from getting something today, and the person will say, this person is stingy cocoa. Only for you to come a month time and you say, come, that thing you were talking about the other time.
Okay, here is this.
I thought about it. I think you need it, and you give it to the person. The person will forgive you for the first time that you did.
Tell you.
So don't be interested in how people perceive you now. Be more interested in how people perceive you over a period of time. Okay. The first one is called behavior. The second one is called personality. Stingy cocoa is a personality concept that is over time. You have got to meet a person, he tells you budget. One. Let's see again, budget. After 10 years, he's always telling you budget.
The same thing over and over again to call that person stingy cocoa.
But asking a person for money at a particular point in time,
and he tells you, hey,
it's insufficient to label him a stingy cocoa. Okay, give him some time. And most people who you call stingy cocoa, eventually you may discover that they're actually they are better givers than the people that you think are throwing money around.
There's another one again, akagom.
Akagom, another way of saying it. For example, there are people who know how to give you small things, but they don't know how to give you big things. For example, some people, if you come and meet them and say you want money to eat, they will give you. If you come come every day, they'll be giving it to you. But if you tell them to give you a job,
they'll tell you the economy is hard right now.
The economy is very hard.
Nobody is employing.
If you had come last week,
if you had come earlier in the month of January, you'd have gotten job as at that time.
The way the economy is going now, there's no job.
No one is employing.
No one is employing. That person is a giver, Abi. But to me, is a redundant giver. The person who gives you to fund food and other things and doesn't give you money to fund your entire life, to have control over it. It's not a true giver. Why some people don't know how to give you money for clothes and shoes and things like that? But
they give you something to get out
to free you. You know, I put something on Facebook one time. I said, a person who gives you money to get on your knees and a person who gives you money to get on your feet, which one do you want?
On your feet.
You like it?
Wait, sorry.
The
Can you say that again?
money to get on your knees.
To get on your knees.
And the person who gives you money to get on your feet, which one is a better giver to you?
I believe your feet.
Your feet, to make you stand.
To make me stand.
Yeah. Not the one that makes you always need.
Not the one that will make me always going to say, brother, I need 500 naira. And you say, domo. No,
time.
On my feet. I want to. There's a saying. Yes, there's a saying that says, teach me how to fish.
Yes.
And don't give me the fish. You understand?
That's another way of saying
yes.
Teach me how to stand on my feet.
Yeah, and don't make me stand kneeling down and say, call your brother.
Every time.
Or thank you, brother, every time.
Not
No.
to make me subservient to you. That's not it. So
that's not it.
It's a matter of perspective.
So invariably, we're trying to say those persons that goes through with their budgets for the month.
Yeah, they're
like having 50,000 naira as a salary, you jot down the 50, 30, 20, and 50, 20, 30, the 50, 30, 20 rule.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, someone comes up and say, hey, please, I need 5,000 naira. And you'll be like, I'm done with my budget for the month.
Yeah, exactly.
So you should please try and understand with that person. So invariably, if you're asking for something from someone, please try as much as you can, ask ahead before the time it's been needed.
Allow them to process it.
Allow them to process it, because this is an era where we need to be financially conscious.
Yes. Yes.
In order for us to know how we're spending, in order for us to know that these are our goals, for us to be able to achieve them. All right, so when we come back, we'll be able to talk about, because some persons, I went out to ask some persons some questions. Some of them, they said COVID-19 actually hampered their saving culture in the year 2021. So when we come back, we'll be talking about that. So don't go nowhere, don't touch the dial. Let's go for a short break and we'll be right back on Flipside. Remember, we're talking about managing your finances in the year 2022. Don't go nowhere. All right, thank you so much for joining us on the program Flipside. I'm yours sincerely, Oloije Oyikokai. And with me is our wonderful discussant, Destiny Wobu. Yeah. Thank you so much. All right, we're talking about managing your finance. Yeah, some persons, they don't know how to save. I wonder why. I feel as humans, we should be able to save. Come rain, come sun, come shine. Now, while I was young, I remember far back then, my dad used to give us, I think, 20 naira for lunch. You understand? In school, then when you say, hey, it's time for a break, and we'll be so happy. Everyone is spending their money, but I had this innate culture with me. Like, right from when I was small, I tend to use 10 naira to buy what I want to buy and save 10 naira.
Yeah.
So, will you say it was something laudable at that time?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I just felt myself like, how can I spend 20 naira? Like 20 naira was something so big. And I felt like, okay, let me leave 10 naira aside and save 20 naira. But right now, can we actually get something to buy for 10 naira in the market?
I don't think, except sweets or something.
Are you sure? There's still something 10 naira worth buying in the market?
Most of the things we buy now is from 20 naira up.
From 20 naira upwards. Okay, now a colleague of mine said, while coming to the studio today, prices of transport still remains the same.
Okay.
As at when it was still in the month of December, they took it down to the month of January.
All right.
All right. Anyway, that aside. So let's go back to COVID-19, hampering the reason why some persons were not being able to save properly or save as much as they used to.
Yeah.
You understand? So we want to know, really, how can that be possible for some persons, resulting to the fact that COVID-19 resulted to them not being able to save?
Yes, COVID-19 was a disaster, totally unexpected.
Yeah.
So it must have caused disequilibrium.
Some persons actually lost their jobs.
Lost their jobs.
Yeah.
Some people had to sell things to be able to survive.
True.
You know, for example, me personally, I didn't go to work for 8 months.
Wow.
And only God knew how I survived that period. So I quite sympathize with people who may not be able to have done anything within that period.
But does this not come to saving for eventualities?
Yes. Yes. In principle, we know all those things.
Because COVID-19 came like a surprise to everyone. Like, where did this come from? You understand? But as a statistician, you're letting us know that there is saving for eventuality. So if it could be that you have been saving over time, COVID-19 should not be an issue. Yeah,
you may have saved, but your savings may not have been predicated on that long period of time. For example, as at the time COVID-19 hit, I thought it was going to just last 2 months.
For some months.
For some months, so I had some.
But we're still here, 2 years after.
We're still here, everybody's still grappling with it.
We're still COVID-19.
Like so sometimes, like I said, even no matter how beautiful your plan is, it is the success of the plan is not entirely in your hands. Okay, but it is still good. It helps you. The reason I was able to survive personally within that period was because I had an emergency fund.
Okay.
I didn't plan for COVID or things like that, but when the thing happened, honestly, I must tell you, I was still able to live the same quality of life for the 8 months.
Okay.
I did nothing changed in my quality of life. And the reason why I was able to do that was because I had a fund. And I had to be depleting the fund. So why most people were running around during COVID saying they didn't have because I was okay. I was in my house. I wake up, drive around the compound and enjoy my life. And I was still eating. My standard of life never fell. But immediately after business started, my rent in my offices were waiting for me to be paid.
Okay.
So I have
not even minding the fact that for 8 months you haven't been able to get something out of it.
No landlord is
not at all.
So somehow, whether you were able to survive the COVID or not, it will impact you in one way or the other. But one thing is certain, it's not only it impacted the entire world. Events were cancelled, travel schedules were cancelled, and things like that. Get back to equilibrium. That was simply disequilibrating. So now, although it's a little bit normal, COVID-19 is still there, but at least we are not on lockdown.
We have the Omicron variant right now.
Yes, we are not on lockdown, so to speak. So I think people can still work and do things like that. So you have to start again. Have faith in humanity, have faith in yourself. Start again, create the fund again, and start to fund it. If it causes problem for you, do not allow it become a permanent feature of your life. So we begin to explain to everybody every time that it's COVID-19. People do not. I mean, it affected everybody. So start again. So like I did after the COVID, I sat down and had to reorganize.
After the lockdown?
Yes, after the lockdown. I had to reorganize. I even had to do some things I didn't do before that I ignored. I said, wow. Because the thing was getting to me. So I said, if I had done this one, I would have been able to fare better. So I'm not moving my money,
re-strategizing
to say, okay, it's like this one is more secure than this one. For example, I didn't know, for instance, that my business was so risky until it was risky, but I didn't know it was so bad because I'm in a service business.
That's
and
true.
when we were locked down, because I was not selling physical products, I got the hit direct to direct. 1 naira did not flow to me in 8 months. I have never been like that before. So I said, wow, my business is risky. So what did that tell me to do?
Whatever has an advantage also has its disadvantage.
So I started seeing a hole in the business model. I said, wow, so if this COVID continues for 3 years, I am dead. So it will help me to, I started thinking of moving resources to something else. Because during COVID too, some people were doing well.
Yeah, very well.
I know some
in fact, some persons actually said, thank God for COVID though. My finances actually went up.
Yeah, there were some people.
Some persons actually posted.
Yeah, they made a lot of money during the period. So I started studying them too. Wow. So this person has some advantage there. So you begin to also find a way to go into that area too. Human beings are reasonable. We are made to meet problems, think about it, and work around it. We are not made to avoid problems.
No,
because as long as you're a human being and adult, you are going to meet complex problems as you go on. What makes you intelligent is your ability to say, oh, this one is different. I have to approach it differently. So please, for those viewers at home, if COVID-19 did a lot of terrible things to your income, sorry about that. It affected everybody. We sympathize with you. But don't be discouraged. Pick up yourself again, reorganize yourself, and beat COVID.
Yeah, beat COVID hard, beat it hard, right, left, center.
Yes,
beat it and let COVID know that, hey, I am determined and focused in 2022. Now, I got a message from someone. He says, I am a student.
Okay.
And I want to know, as a student, how can I save?
Good.
As a student.
Yeah, you can't save. Like I said, any amount of money, it's just discipline.
Yeah. I started with 10 naira.
How can you save? I attended a seminar when I was a student in University of Benin, when I was in 300 level. And then the person just spoke something and said, sit down and calculate, write any amount that touches your hand in a month and write it down. And when you write it, just find a paper, just write it down, or save it inside your spreadsheet, inside your phone. And don't do anything with it, just write it. And then at the end of the month, total all the amount that entered your hand.
Okay.
Discipline yourself to just be writing it down somewhere. Okay, 20 naira, write it down. I was shocked. Do you know, as a student, I did not know that I was a pipe. That money was flowing through me.
Wow. That
particular month, as a student that time, 86,000 passed through me. That came. Then at the end of the month, I had 0 naira. So the person said, it is not
the money in the account
that comes to you that makes you rich or poor. It is the one that goes out.
Yeah.
I did not know that such amount of money passes through me. I was always broke as a student. And I was like, so you mean 80,000 naira came me because I kept the record for the first time.
Yeah.
What?
How did I spend it?
How on earth?
Yeah.
I sat and I said, it's not possible. I spent it.
Yeah.
So I started getting conscious. Wow. So money can actually be passing through you. And you don't take notes because you think it's not enough. It's not enough.
True.
So somebody gives you 50,000 naira, you blow it. It's not enough. 20,000, you blow it. It's not enough. 2,000, you say it's too small. It's not too small. It's value.
We even find some core members. I remember when I was serving, I think they got our allowance then was it 15 or 10? I can't remember. Thereabouts, or 13.
Yeah.
Now you still find some core members. Right now they are receiving 30,000 naira, and that is someone's salary, take home as a core member. You still find some of them complaining it's not enough. In fact, I can't get myself some groceries. I can't do this. How 30,000 naira as a core member, and you can't even save 5,000 naira.
There are family people who live on 30,000
how is it possible? Yeah, they are family persons.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's their full-time job. 30 grand.
I tell you. So please, can you advise those core members watching us right now on how they can actually save?
Yes, this is what I tell them. How I solve my problem. It's a psychological problem. It's not the money that's a problem. We're raised to, most people, we're raised to get money, spend and save the rest.
Okay.
It's a fault.
Get money, spend and save the rest.
If you are raised with that mentality, you can't save. This is how to think about it. Get money, save, and spend the rest. Save first. Save first.
Get the money.
Save.
Save.
And spend the rest.
And spend. Okay. And spend the rest.
Not
all right.
Get money, spend,
and save the rest.
You begin to make savings a residual part of your life. What you should do is save, be disciplined about it.
Be disciplined.
That's what that works for me. And that's what I used to run my business. When money comes to my hand,
the first thing you think about is saving.
I have 4 accounts. I wrote all of them. All of them are different. There's one account. You will need to be devil to go and take money out of that account. Once money comes to my hand, like today, I got some money.
You've channeled
there's
it
a rush
already.
In my blood to rush to the ATM, to the POS, and transfer.
And go do transfer.
The POS doesn't even ask me for my account number again. When I come like that, the POS will just pay the money. They know my account number. They know that particular account. I don't withdraw from it. Okay? You see the point now? That's discipline. I save it first, then I will not breathe. It's no longer
and think on what you want to do
next. I cannot be thinking about spending. So for such a student, it's not as if money doesn't get to you at all. It gets to you. So if you're listening, when you get the money, save first. Even if it is 1,000 you got, save 500 naira first. Then hold the 1,500. Let that one disappear. Save it in a place where you cannot easily contact it. So that may be training yourself. And there's one thing about saving: it is cumulative. It is psychologically cumulative. So if you set the target of saving 30,000 naira over a 1-month period, and you got to the target, your body will tell you to move it to 60,000. Saving is a culture you need to start learning. Once you master the art of savings, it will become a second nature. So anytime you get money, savings will just become natural. You always have money to spend. Okay. I have noticed something too. I had a sister. Anytime I needed to borrow money, she always has money to give to me. But anytime I have money, she will come and say, buy me ice cream, buy me this one. I used to pity her and say, she's the one, she always begs, she asks for money. But when I get into a problem, a critical problem that I cannot solve, guess who will come and solve it?
She'll be the one.
She'll be the one solve it, and the money will be complete.
Okay, she has a saving culture.
So after some time, I started saying that I was the one that was deluded. Because I was throwing money around, I thought I was good. I was just being, like I said, financially irresponsible. She was more financially responsible. So I had to learn that from her. So she used to earn 12,000 naira. And then you can ask her for 200,000 naira.
And she'll find it to give it to you.
Not borrow. She will go and withdraw it and give it to you for something important. But if you buy food in the restaurant you want to eat, she will look at it, buy for me too now. You will buy for her. She will never buy. You get the point now. So I thought
but some persons will feel those persons are stingy to themselves.
No. They are not stingy to themselves. The person that is stingy to himself will complain first. It's not you that will complain toward them. Everybody has their needs. For example, you bought that wristwatch because you want it, right?
True.
And you bought that barrel because you want it. So if you choose to buy another barrel, how is that my business? If you are telling the person to enjoy their money, does that not show that you are deluded? They work for the money. They know where it pinches. They know where
they know how to spend it.
It is the person who pays the piper
that can tell
that dictates the tune. When you begin to detect the tune of another person, something is already wrong with you. Yes, people have a right to be frugal with their money. They have a right not to enjoy their life with their money. It is not your business.
Okay.
It's not your business. You focus on your own.
Yeah, focus on your own.
Do what they are
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Before we go, some persons they have that notion that getting to a group, we'll find some persons organizing a group and say, okay, let's save. Okay. You take this for this month, you take this for this other month, and the likes. Okay. Now, do you go with that ideology of saving in a group?
It works.
It works.
It works.
Okay. What about at the end of it, when you get this huge sum of amount? Now you are that spend freak.
You blow it.
You just blow it. So what was that the need of you in the first place joining a group?
Okay. So that's why I said discipline again. When you are joining the group, you are learning savings. What you are simply doing is savings. And using the power of leverage, the power of everybody to gather a lump sum. Okay, so it allows you to put small money away and then get it bigger in a bigger thing. It doesn't solve your financial problem. It simply helps you to accumulate funds while you wait. And then when it comes, you still need discipline to allocate it. Okay, so when it comes, don't be in a hurry
to spend.
It's also another inflow. So you save again first.
It's another 50, 30, 20.
Yeah, it's the same thing. So you run through it again. But this time you have more a bigger amount of money to play with.
The cash is lump sum.
So play by the same rules too. And so if you keep doing like that, in all likelihood, as you grow older, you'll be getting richer.
Okay. All right. So before we go, some advice for everyone watching us right now, listening to us, on how they can actually be financially buoyant in the year 2022.
Yes.
At the end, at the tail end, when it's time for you to start distributing rice, distributing things, and when it's time for you to actually go back and think for the year 2022, how did I fare? Okay,
so first of all, I want to tell my people at home that don't save to buy rice for Christmas. We call those
no, but there are some organizations, there are some groups you join just solely for that purpose.
If that's the purpose, you personally, that's for the purpose. Like people save. What is your goal? That's first of all.
Okay.
Why are you saving? If your goal is to get more financially responsible and more financially in control of your life, having a bag of rice will not help you financially being income. So it's like you want to increase your capital. What people try to increase is their income. For you to be financially in control of your life, what you need to increase is your assets, not your income. Your income rises in proportion to your assets. Are you getting the point now? So that's why I say your goal. What is your goal? If your goal is to increase your income, then you should be planning to increase your income. If your goal is to increase your assets, then you should be planning to increase your assets. Especially now that Nigeria is, people are beginning to, inflation is taking off the value of things. And so the best thing to do is to buy assets that tend to increase in value instead of things that will diminish in value. So buying lands and properties and things like that tend to increase in value over time. So it will even rise faster than the value of inflation. Okay, so if your goal is to be financially independent and in control of your life, then spend more money in the areas that increase your assets. When we say assets, we don't always mean land and house. It could be knowledge. For example, I'll use myself as an example. I'm going back to school. I have been to school enough, but I think my school is becoming old school. So I'm going back to school. But this time around, I want to go and increase my capacity to do certain things. It is part of my financial planning. Okay? So, and that will require me to put some money aside and go back to the classroom to learn certain skills. I discover this COVID thing told me I need to upgrade my skills because I was at home and a lot of my friends were making money in their bedroom because they had digital skills and I don't have digital skills. So education is a form of building for the future. Okay, so some can do it in form of education, can buy properties, whatever they want to do. But one thing is certain: do not save money for redundancies, things that will make you poorer over time. So, but if you have to save for redundancies, make sure it is not at the expense of assets. Okay. For example, if you have the choice to buy either a house or a bag of rice, you should know that the house should come in the order of things before buying the rice. It is after you have done that one that you cannot be focusing on redundancies like rice. How many rice are you going to buy for the rest of your life? Are you getting the point now? So in your financial plan, set two goals. The first goal is how do I increase my capacity to earn? That's first one. How do I increase my capacity to earn? Then two, how do I increase my capacity to spend? There are two different things.
There are two different things.
Your capacity to earn is increased when your assets increase. You're generating power. Capacity to spend increases when you can now have enough money to spend. Good. But the first one comes for the second one. The second one. So in your own financial plan, are you satisfied with your current level of income? If you are satisfied, then go left. Ahead. Then plan with it. But if you are not satisfied with your current level of income, your plan should be increasing your current level of income. And that requires you to put some money aside to plan for the next level. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Destiny Wobo, for being part of this show today, for educating us and letting us know that savings is paramount. So if you're that person that you're a spend freak, please, 2022, cut down on your spending and save more. 50, 30, 20. Till we see you again next week for another exciting time on Flipside. Do have yourself a blessed day. I remain Oluije Oihokai. Bye for now.